Implant retained dentures at Dentures Direct. When people struggle with a loose lower denture, they're often told that's just how dentures are. But the truth is, there's a real physical reason why lower dentures are so difficult. Once the natural teeth are removed, the jawbone begins to shrink, and the lower jaw usually shrinks much faster than the upper jaw. Over time, that lower ridge can become flatter, thinner, and less able to support a denture. That's why trying to get suction on a lower denture can be almost impossible. You're asking a denture to sit on a shrinking, moving, soft tissue foundation, while the tongue, cheeks, lips, and facial muscles are all pushing against it every time you speak, laugh, chew, or swallow. At Dentures Direct, we explain it very simply. A regular lower denture is trying to balance. An implant retained denture is trying to anchor. And that's the difference. Dental implants act like artificial roots. They give the denture something solid to connect to. Instead of relying only on suction, adhesive, or soft relines, the denture can snap onto titanium implants placed in the jaw. That changes the whole game. Instead of a floating plastic base that lifts when you talk or moves when you eat, an implant retained denture has real support underneath it. It is still removable. You still take it out to clean it. But when it is in place, it has a much more secure foundation. One of the biggest reasons lower dentures pop up is muscle movement. There is a muscle in the front of the lower jaw called the mentalis muscle. When you talk, laugh, smile, or move your lips, that muscle can put pressure on the front of the denture and help push it out of place. The tongue is doing the same thing from the inside. The cheeks are doing it from the outside. So with a traditional lower denture, we're always trying to manage movement. With an implant retained denture, we're not just relying on the gums anymore. The implants help hold the denture down, so those muscle forces have much less ability to throw the denture around. That's why implant retained lower dentures can be such a life-changing option for people who are tired of glue, sore spots, floating dentures, and the constant fear that their teeth are going to move in public. And today, the digital side makes this even better. Traditional dentures are made with impression material, stone models, wax setups, and processed acrylic. That process can work, but acrylic can shrink slightly during processing, and even small changes can affect the final fit. At Dentures Direct, we use digital scanning and digital design to improve accuracy and reduce the old school guesswork. Whenever possible, we use intraoral scanning instead of the gag-inducing trays full of goop. We digitally capture the shape of the gums, the bite, the available space, the implant positions, and the way the denture needs to function. Then the denture can be designed on the computer and manufactured with far more control. With CNC milling, the denture base can be carved from a pre-made, industrially processed material. That means less distortion compared to traditional hand-packed acrylic and a more precise fit against the tissues. This is not just making a denture. This is engineering a prosthetic that has to work with your bone, your bite, your tongue, your muscles, your facial support, and your implants. The goal is not just to make teeth that look good. The goal is to make teeth that stay where they are supposed to stay. So if you've been stuck in the cycle of loose lower dentures, denture glue, soft relines, sore spots, and embarrassment, it may be time to stop patching the problem and start looking at the foundation. At Dentures Direct in Toronto, we focus on digital dentures and implant-retained denture solutions for patients who want something more stable, more secure, and more predictable than a traditional floating lower denture. A loose lower denture is not just a denture problem, it's a physics problem, and implants are how we change the physics. Call Dentures Direct at 416-245-7474 or visit denturesdirect.ca to book a consultation. Let's talk about whether an implant-retained denture is the right next step for your smile.